Welcome to another edition of the Real Energy Podcast. Folks, we are here again. We're only -1 now. We've got a full set of people, except for our boy Keith.
Boo.
We miss you, Keith.
Boo, man.
We love you, Keith.
Boo. I think we're gonna have to roll up on that cat and just like,
Let's do it.
just go do an intervention, pull him in the truck,
White
and be
van.
like, you know what I'm saying? White van him and be like, let's go, dog.
We'll podcast in the truck.
You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like a good idea.
Put a generator out with us podcast in front of the house.
Like an
you know what I'm
FBI
saying?
surveillance van.
You know.
No excuse.
So your boy Pat, I'm here. Next to me, we've got Tanya over in the corner. We put her in the corner because she hasn't been here in a minute. Steph, radio voice.
Hi. Hi.
Oh my goodness! And Audrey is back. Y'all remember Audrey?
Hey.
You know, we needed to bring her back and just, you know, we're not going to talk about her today, but we just needed her to be on the panel.
I wanted to be here, so
I am
thank
glad
you.
you're on the panel. Our boy, Dark Zorro.
Hello.
Ron is here.
Hello.
Our local celebrity,
Sorry about my new album, guys. It's not the best.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, the Swifties are going to come for me.
Oh my god.
No one's ever going to cancel you. We're not having it.
We're not canceling it.
I've been canceled so many times by people in their minds, probably.
You know what I mean? And our guest of the day, Keith, a.k.a. Smalls. Say what's up to people, brother.
What's up, people? How's everybody doing?
Welcome.
Thank
Glad
you.
to see you.
We are Real Field 7. Don't quote me on that. I think we're on Real Field 7. So,
Sure.
you know, we all grew up together. Keith, we went to the same high school, grew up in the same neighborhoods. You know, he suffered a situation 2 years ago?
2021.
2021. So 3 years ago. Had a heart attack, stroke, stuff like that. I've been wanting to bring him on the podcast for a minute, but I personally think he wasn't ready. I reached out. We talked a couple weeks ago, and I think he was ready. Ready to tell his story. So we're gonna get into it, brother, and kind of talk about your situation, your story. A lot of us have either had relatives that's passed away. We've had surgeries. We've had friends that have passed away, and dealing with the aftermath of that situation, because I think we all dealt with it differently. I know I'm dealing with it differently because I don't know if y'all remember, 420 was yesterday. Guess what 420 was other than smoking day?
The anniversary of Lloyd's death.
The
Really?
anniversary of my brother's death, second year.
Wow.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
So yeah, I was not good yesterday, even though y'all ain't really notice it. Y'all, I don't really show it too much.
And we
but
didn't remember. What a bunch of assholes.
Yeah,
it's
basically.
okay. It's okay.
It's hard to keep track of the death of a person.
You know what I mean?
Really?
Shit happens, dude. So Keith, brother, the floor is yours, man. Talk us. Bring us back to when you were okay, and then, boom.
All right. Well, during the pandemic, my brother and I partnered and started a venture called Sign Gypsies. It's a local franchise, and we had been going pretty good, going strong. We had a game plan, and we were sticking to it. And I was feeling great. Things were looking up in life. I had a routine. I had a plan. I had some helpers. And I really couldn't ask for more. And I've dealt with heart issues my whole life. I was born with a heart murmur. I've always had just small incidents that would send me to see a specialist or a doctor, and I would blow it off. They just be like, you just got to deal with it. Well, one night I was working, I was doing an install, and I started having chest pains. But I'd had chest pains my whole life, so I just ignored it. And I bent over and I got lightheaded, and I kind of went down on one knee. I just said, I'm getting old, I got to slow down. And I couldn't stand up for about a minute. And when I stood up, I just fell backwards. Boom, hit the ground. And my brain was just focused on picking up this sign, getting to the next stop, because it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. And I couldn't get up. But I wasn't thinking that I couldn't get up. I just was like, okay, I'm tired. And then I got up, and then I fell again. But I'm stubborn. So I got up, and I kept trying to pick up these signs one at a time, and I fell again. Wow. And then I realized something's not right. But my phone's in the car. So now I'm like, whoa, the car sure does look far now because I can't make it. And I crawled to the car, called for help, but I wasn't thinking. I didn't call 911.
Nobody was out there with you?
Nah, I was by myself. Nice neighborhood, so everybody else was asleep. Nobody's outside but me. Maybe a fox or a coyote or something.
Oh, man.
And I didn't panic, but I just didn't really realize what was going on. I'm like, I'm dehydrated. I had some bad pizza earlier. That's why my stomach is hurting, my chest is hurting. And I called my wife, told her, come get me. So I gave her the address. I said, bring me some water. I'm dehydrated. So she brought me a couple bottles of water because I was only like 8 minutes from my house. But by the time she got there, I realized I'm really not breathing right. I ain't got no air. So I'm sitting in the car with the air conditioner on high, but I'm still searching for air. And I'm just looking around. And she showed up. And I'm like, come on, let's get this sign. She's like, you don't look right. Just get in the car. So I got in the car, and she drove me home. And then I sat on the sofa for more than 24 hours. And I was just sitting there, and I was really losing oxygen. So I wasn't really thinking normal. And I'm like, this is going to go away. This is just heartburn. This is the first time I ever had heartburn. Some sucking heartburn, Tums, all kinds of stuff. But it started getting worse. And what I noticed was every symptom I had my whole life, the chest pains, the heart palpitations, the getting woozy, everything was happening, and then it would repeat in succession. And it just kept happening, and it kept happening. And finally, I stood up off the sofa, and when I hit the wall, I was like, hey, I think I need to go to the hospital. Because I really wasn't breathing. But I was doing the man thing. I wasn't really crying for help. I was just, I get some more air in a minute.
Had your breathing gotten worse from the initial that
Oh,
night?
man, yeah. It got bad. But I was downstairs by myself. Everybody left to go to work. So I'm sitting in the house. But I'm almost non-coherent. I just sitting there like, it's going to go away. It's got to go away. It's going to go away. And it just kept getting worse. And I went to the hospital. And I was in the room, the opening, when they brought me in, my wife brought me in, checked me in. I sat there for probably 8 minutes. And that's when I was like, hey, I'm about to die. And people say that.
You told him that?
Yeah, I told him that. I said, I'm about to die. Oh, sir, it's not that bad. And I just went down on the floor again. And they took me to the back, and they started saying, what's the problem? I was like, I got some pain down in my stomach. So they just pancreas, liver, all this stuff. And one guy walked in, and he said, man, he's having a heart attack.
Oh my.
Was this a physician or just?
He was just an EMT guy, but because I was complaining about my stomach
Yep.
and not up here, they were focused on that. He's like, no, he's having a heart attack. He's full blown. Wow. And I'm gone. I'm in the daze. And that's kind of like all I remember at that point. And I was at Alexandria Hospital. And from that point, they took me to the back and they gave me anesthesia immediately. I could hear them freaking out. Emergency surgery, ringing bells, whatever they were doing. And I just passed out later. I was like, I'm done. This is it. I've never felt like this. I've had like 8 surgeries. I tore every ligament in this shoulder. I was like, I've never felt this bad.
You were done. I
was done. And they took me in, and 2 hours later, they were taking me to Fairfax Hospital. They woke me up. And was like, you got to go to Fairfax. And they took me to Fairfax. And I was there for 6 hours in surgery.
What was the original hospital?
Alexandria Hospital. They just weren't equipped to handle
that level.
Yeah, once they started slicing me open, I guess.
So, question: you said that you've always dealt with, like heart murmurs, stuff like that. Had you seen a cardiologist before for any of that stuff?
Yeah, a cardiologist, heart specialist. I had a machine hooked up on me where they would measure. I had to wear a machine once a month for 30 days, and they would measure the conditions of my heart.
Was it like a Holter monitor that you had to wear?
It might be Holter monitor, Holter top. It was something, I don't know. But, in high school, I tried out for the basketball team. And I made the team, couldn't pass the physical.
Wow.
So
this went way back. So your heart issues, yeah, it's hereditary.
it's hereditary. There have been several men in the previous generation of me, they died in their 40s. Back then was just heart disease. They just weren't diagnosed properly, and they just died, and it just was told that it's been in the family and it skips generations. I'm the only person out of my generation that suffered from it. So my first incident happened when I was like 8 years old at a wreck, and I just stopped breathing. But I just thought, everybody said he's just overexerted, been playing in the gym all day. It's 200 degrees outside. And it happened, the second time it happens when I went to a hospital, and that's when they said, oh, you just got a heart murmur. You just can't do as much as everybody else. So I just dealt with that.
My brother-in-law, my sister's husband, he suffered a heart attack and had, I don't know if it's the same issue that you had, but he was playing soccer. It was less than a week after my dad had passed. He went, he was playing soccer, indoor soccer in Manassas, and he suffered a heart attack, and he didn't make it. But what's the crazy thing is, he didn't know that he had something that was hereditary, and after his passing and whatever, they figured out that this is like an actual like passed down.
How old
generation. Probably say like 30 something, 40.
Oh, really?
young.
Yeah, he was young. So he was early 40s. Yeah, he was How old am I? I'm 52.
52. I love that you had to look at me for that.
I know.
Yeah, so so early 40s. He was older than my sister, so early 40s. So yeah, so now that he actually had that situation, his daughters, my nieces, actually had to go get tested. They have it too.
Oh, that sucks.
So I think the term you're looking for is a congenital heart defect.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's what you had, because it's family bloodline. Yeah.
So that was my next question.
Yeah.
What exactly was it? So it's a heart defect. That's what.
He said heart murmurs in the beginning.
It started off, I was told I was at a heart murmur, and then eventually it just turns into congestive heart failure. But I wasn't diagnosed with congestive heart failure until the heart failed.
So that's what caused your heart attack, was you had congestive heart failure.
I had all four of my arteries were 99% blocked.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, so that's
Okay.
something different. Then that's just from diet.
That was from diet.
Yeah.
One of my valves actually had ruptured.
So you had a 5-vessel bypass,
Wow.
4-vessel bypass.
Hey, didn't your pops?
So we have
Yeah,
a couple of things going on here, right? We have the congenital heart defect, then the arteries clogged on top of that, right? So
yeah.
And then the heart murmur.
So when they did the surgery, they just did bypasses all around. Did they fix any of your valves or anything? Or?
They replaced the valve. I have a mechanical heart valve.
So you have a valve and a bypass. So
And
they
a
took the
bypass.
vein from your leg.
Here,
Yeah.
here, the groin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
my neck, my wrists.
Wow.
Wow.
They used a lot.
That's so scary.
everything
though.
feels weird when we talk about vascular stuff.
So
in my body.
you were in surgery for 6 hours, huh?
8 hours total.
Oh my goodness. man.
Wow.
And I had a non-cancerous mass on a different valve that they had to remove. That I had no
your
idea
little
was there.
heart.
Oh, wow.
How long ago was the surgery?
August 2021. August the 12th or 13th.
Okay, so not that long ago. So have you made also any lifestyle changes?
A ton.
Yeah.
You must, yeah.
Yeah.
Ton.
Yeah.
Because some people don't. They're just like, oh, I have the surgery. I'm fine now.
Well, what was the time period between your heart attack and then you suffering from the stroke?
I suffered the stroke last year it was like towards the end of June.
Was there a correlation between the two?
There was. It basically came from plaque that released and caused a small
Gotcha.
Blood clot.
blood clot in my brain.
I mean, you seem very well. How was the recovery from the stroke? Was it a long?
It took maybe
Did anything paralyze?
4 months. No, nothing paralyzed. My left side went real weak,
Yeah.
but nothing was paralyzed.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's. But where you were more you were more aware this time around than you were, because you kind of ignored the situation the first go around. So when that stroke happened, were you more aware of it? Like how, when did it happen? Where did it happen?
The stroke was a scary story. I was driving.
Oh, no way.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, I was driving, and I was going to my cousin's house, and I was like maybe half a mile from his house. I'm feeling just normal, and I made this right turn onto a street, and it goes left. You make a right, and street just bears left, so it's quick. I made the right, and when I started going left, all of a sudden I seen a bright light. It's just a flash, and then it started going this way, and then it just sped up to like 1,000,000 miles an hour till it was just a blur. And I'm coasting down the street, maybe like 5-6 miles an hour, and I'm just done.
Wow.
And by the time I came to, I was like literally, the car was just creeping, but I was in front of his driveway, so I turned in the drive, and I was like, wow, that was trippy.
I can't believe you made it. That's
I
amazing.
know.
I was
you're
just
such a strong, like,
I was just like, whoa, and it didn't really process. I just was like, that was it just when I went blind in a bright light. I got out of the car and I walked in his house, and within 10 seconds of walking in his house, my body just froze.
wow.
And I was helping him out. He was out of town, and I'm watching his 2 pit bulls.
Oh, my God.
I went to let him out, and I was going to go back home. And I just fell. That's the time I fell again. I hit the ground, and I was stuck. I was just laying there like, oh man, I'm gonna die in his house. They're gonna talk about me. I'm stuck, and I'm still
so
breathing, and the dogs are standing on the landing, just looking at me.
They didn't come to your rescue?
No, his dogs don't really like me like that. I didn't have any treats with me, so. But I'm just laying there for like 2 or 3 minutes, and just I'm like paralyzed. And finally, I was able to reach in my pocket, and I called 911, and they had to come get me. And they said it was vertigo. That's what they thought I had vertigo.
Yeah.
Because I was in the foyer. I mean, I just literally walked in the house just with.
They
I didn't
always
feel
blame it
anything,
on-
just
on vertigo.
And he goes, they had to pick me up, and they took me to the hospital. And the lady kept saying, "You got vertigo." I was like, "Man, it's not vertigo. Something really unexplainable happened."
Yeah, vertigo is not going to paralyze you.
Nah,
No.
Yeah.
nothing was
They tried
nothing
to
was
blame it
spinning.
on
I
him.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Yo, off the subject for a second, vertigo. I don't know if y'all ever have gone through that.
Yep.
I have it every once in a while. If it happens when you're driving, it is scary.
Yeah.
Like literally, man.
Well, I had Lyme disease, and they try to blame it on vertigo for like almost a year. It was like lost my balance. I couldn't even walk, and I keep telling my husband, I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna be awake tomorrow. I have a tumor in my head, and nobody's listening to me until I went to the hospital like 4 times, and they're like, no, you just have vertigo. No, you just have. I'm like, no, I have something else, and you don't want to tell me. And until I questioned the doctor and she got mad, then they're like, okay, let's just take her to the, send her to the neurologist. And he was like, okay, this is it. Either is this or that. Let's do a blood test. And then he's like, oh, you just have Lyme disease.
Just.
Did you have the
Yes.
red? I had Lyme disease too. Did you have the red spot anywhere on your body?
Yeah, in my head. A year,
Yeah.
but it was a year
You didn't catch
before.
it, yeah.
I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I was
So-
like 25. It was on my tummy, and I went to a doctor, and she took some measurements and blood tests, and then I did the course of antibiotics, and I think this was like, decades ago now.
Okay, I got questions. What is Lyme disease?
You get it from ticks,
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and it can like cause like bowel palsy, like partial paralysis. usually works itself out. But like everyone in like New Jersey apparently,
But you don't get a
Long
cure.
Island has it because there's so many ticks that carry it.
wow.
There's no cure though.
Yeah,
Like,
you
it could
kind of
come
always
back.
have it.
Yeah. If it does flare ups, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you catch it early enough and like you do, it's like just a 10-day course of I can't remember which antibiotic it was.
I had to have 1 month of antibiotic.
Maybe it was a month. I don't remember.
Mhm.
But I know I went through the antibiotics and I don't think like sometimes I guess maybe if I get tired it could be blamed on that. But like one of my friends, she's like, oh yeah, everyone in my family has it because they're up in Long Island all the time. Sometimes I just get tired. So it can have, like any disease, it can have different
Yeah.
severity for
But people think you're crazy,
Yeah.
and it's not. It's just Lyme disease.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now y'all making me freaking me out because I work outdoors.
Yeah, no, watch out for those ticks.
I work outdoors, so
Yeah, I go hiking all the time, and that's probably what I got it.
That's crazy. So when you got into the hospital and they try to blame it on vertigo, did they finally pull you back and be like, what did they do?
Sent me home.
Are you
Oh.
serious?
Wow.
But sent me home with vertigo medicine.
That didn't work because you didn't have vertigo.
Bingo.
Exactly.
So, but I went and saw a neurologist and explained to them what happened, and they did some scans, and they was like, "Yep, right here in the back of the brain on this side."
Wow.
It's crazy that so it was a mild stroke. It wasn't.
It was mild stroke.
That was mild?
That was mild.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
The heart attack was massive.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The stroke, the recovery from the stroke was just exercise, and probably a lot because I had changed my diet, so my body. I started juicing and just going straight fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
That's good.
After I got out of the hospital, because I had no taste, no smell for probably like a year and a half. So it didn't matter what I ate or what I drank. Everything was one dimension.
Wow.
I guess that makes it easy to make changes.
It made it real simple to forget what I used to like.
Yeah.
I mean, the things I used to love, I would eat it, and it was horrible.
So what was your diet and lifestyle like prior, and what have you changed now?
Man, it was paisanos, pizza on the run, anything. I was eating anything. I was working like literally 20 hours a day, so I would just eat anything.
Eating like
Meat.
a 20,
Anything too.
eating
Stay
like
awake,
you're 20
too.
years old again.
Yeah, I was
right?
eating steaks and
Yeah.
Whatever you
whatever
wanted.
I wanted.
Soda.
How old are you? How old are you now?
49.
49. Okay.
Yeah.
And so now you said, well, you juice, but what else? What else do you do?
I juice. I just bought a Pepsi probably the second time this year the other day, but I just stay away from a lot of meat, and I just incorporate a lot of fruit and vegetables.
Good
Are
idea.
you going vegan now?
No, don't call me anything. I just choose not to eat meat every day until I decide that one day I'm going to eat some meat.
Yeah.
So it's just
I
you
do
eat,
that.
You
I
eat
do
it
that.
when you
I
want to
like
eat it.
that
That's
attitude.
it.
Yeah.
But I don't even eat it when I want to eat it because I would probably eat it a lot more
So
if I
you
say.
but you like do it like once a month or whatever.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So how was if you answered this question, excuse me, what was the time difference between when you had the heart attack and when you had the stroke?
The heart attack was August 2021. The stroke was June 2023. So it was 2 years.
Just shy of 2 years.
Do you did they say it was any correlation between the two?
Yeah, he said the plaque.
The plaque, it was caused by a plaque that broke off from just anywhere in the veins, and I was doing too much. I was
you
doing too
stressed?
much.
Were you
Stress, depression, trying to go back to work, trying to survive, meaning managing my health care became a full-time job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Day by day, man.
When I got out, when I was in the hospital, when I came with 2 surgeries, it was like usually people are in ICU for 2 days. They'll send you upstairs for about a week and then you go home. All you got to do is walk. Once you can walk, you can go home.
Wait, is this after the heart attack?
This is right after the heart attack.
Wow.
They said the time frame is they don't let you rest. They want you to keep going. They say if you can walk around the hospital wing and up the stairs, you can go home.
Wow.
I'm going home. 3 weeks later, I'm still in there and I can't walk. Apparently, when they clamping off each valve and doing a repair, some of the plaque and the gunk, they couldn't recover before if gravity pulls it down. So after I suffered countless complications.
How were your muscles after all that?
Done. I was done.
So did they send you to rehab? Like my dad had triple bypass in I think November of 2021, and he didn't get out like you didn't either. He had to go to maybe it was November. He had to go to Alexandria and be in the rehab facility for like 2 weeks that year.
I finally ended up having rehab for 3 months.
Wow.
But I had to have, after the heart attack, I had so much blockage in both arteries and both legs. I had to have surgeries on each one to remove excess plaque.
Right after your heart surgery. Within weeks.
It was probably 6 months.
Oh, 6 months. Okay.
Because my feet were dying. They turned black. The bottom of my feet turned black.
Shut up.
But because of the extensive surgery, they had to cut my sternum and go through all my ribs and all this stuff. I couldn't move forward. I couldn't look down. My neck was, when it took the arteries from my neck, I couldn't move my neck for maybe 2 months. So I'm just stuck, and I can't look at my feet.
How do you recover from all that? Because
they don't know. I mean, the dude said he don't know.
Yeah.
They told me when I got out, they said this first year is all on you. You can change what you do, or you can try to make it, but you don't have another chance at another heart surgery.
So what I guess what I'm curious about is that, you know, between when you had the surgeries and you had your leg was almost dying and you had all that plaque removed, how did they miss the fact that you had more plaque that went up to your brain and gave you that stroke? You know what I'm saying?
They can't remove it all.
Yeah,
they can't remove it all, and if it breaks off, it just gets into the bloodstream.
But that's why they give you blood thinners and all that, right?
Yep, blood thinners. I'm on Coumadin.
Still?
For the rest of my life.
Wow.
Because of the heart valve. So I have to maintain a certain range. So every week I have to test myself and adjust my Coumadin for what I want to eat, because you can't have vitamin K, and certain foods counteract the Coumadin. So when they was like, you can only have a cup of greens every now and then, I was like, I grew up on greens. I want them every day.
So did you see your nutritionist?
Nutritionist?
Yeah.
Yep.
That word.
Yep. I don't do anything they say.
Yeah. Why?
Because it doesn't conducive to my lifestyle. I mean, honestly, my brain set is I'm going to do what I want to do at this point, because I don't have no more chances. So I'm not going to force myself to eat what they tell me to eat. I want to choose what I want to eat. So if I want to eat 2 cups of greens, I just either exercise and adjust my Coumadin, or I don't, and I just deal with the consequences. The consequences is everybody's range, I think, should be like 1.5, 2. It's like normal. 1 to 2 is normal.
1 to 2 what?
On a scale of your level of INR, it's like your blood, a measurement of your blood. Let's say the thickness of your blood.
Right.
So everybody who's normal has a normal thickness, so it just runs through the veins. Because I'm on blood thinners, mine gets real thin. So I'm susceptible to bleeding out, bruising, internal bleeding. If I get a bruise, it might not stop.
You don't have one of these to tell whoever it's around you that, you know, if you caught yourself, you can bleed to death. Medical ID
bracelet.
No.
Thank you.
But we'll talk about that later on.
You definitely need one of these. Yeah.
Talk about that. Well, did you do that, or did they do that?
No. Because of the lymph nodes they took over here, then nothing needs to be done on this side. No needles. So it's underneath says my name, and then emergency contact, and it says needle-less. So they can't touch this arm. No blood pressure check on this arm because of the lymphedema they could cause, which means that it's swellings. So this tells if I'm in the hospital and I pass out and I can't tell them, this will let them know that they cannot use the right arm for anything. So you definitely need one of these.
I had a bracelet. It was rubber. They gave it to me for the first year, basically saying if I had to go back, they can't do anything to my chest. no rest, no, can't rest to revive me or anything.
Do not resuscitate bracelet.
There you go. Do
Yeah,
not
you definitely
resuscitate.
need it because if you have something or, you're passed out in the street, nobody's going to know. And, the ambulance going to do what they normal do to people.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely need one of these.
So, yo, I'm not going just fly over the fact that you have a DNR. Like, if you suffer another heart attack, bro, that's
I'm
it.
done.
That's
I'm
it.
done. Yeah, I'm done.
Was that a choice, or did
No,
they
ain't
say
no choice.
they said that you can't do anything else if you have a heart attack?
The damage to the heart is irreparable. So once it goes again, it's gone. They can't. He's like, we can't repair anything else. We repair what we can repair and beyond.
This car is running as long as it's gonna run, you guys.
Yeah.
That's happening.
Yeah.
You need to live one day at a time, man.
I live differently from everybody else. Now I live by the hour instead of a day.
Good. I like that.
Oh, talk about that.
I like that.
It started when I came to in the hospital. I didn't turn the TV on. I refused to watch TV. I was just an emotional wreck. My brain couldn't fathom why I'm hurting on every part of my body, or legs, arms, neck, chest. Everything was receiving bad signals or sending bad signals. So it just causes mass confusion in the brain. And you're stuck. You can't do anything. I'm just there and I can't do anything. And only thing I could do was look like this. I was just stuck like this. I couldn't move. They had me in a coma, I forget for how long after the surgery. And when I woke up, the only thing I could see was a clock. And
So you woke up with like tubes in your mouth and
tubes in my
coming
mouth,
out,
tubes coming out, 3 tubes coming out my chest, catheters, both arms had IVs. Man, it was.
Did you ever ask the question like, why is this happening to me? I mean, it's too much in so little time that's it's hard to cope.
Ask who, myself or somebody else?
Anything.
I asked myself.
Yourself.
I didn't
up
ask
there?
myself because I had so many small episodes with my heart that I knew that I was lucky to be alive.
Plus, you kind of know, right, that a lot of it had to do with your diet because you had the bypass,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a lot of it was eating unhealthy, eating, like you said, paisanos, pizza, steak and cheese, whatever you want.
Whatever I wanted.
And then at 46, 47, you had a heart attack. I mean,
Hit
that's
you.
kind of crazy, right? All right, think about that. 46 years old, had a 4-vessel bypass. So you got to think about how much you were eating. Even before, like 15, 20 years before, it caused all that plaque to just keep
I
building.
guess that's
and
what
building.
I'm curious about. When kind of talking about, because you've had hereditary heart issues. Like, what was that correlation between your diet and what was hereditary? You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to say what was hereditary because the family members were never diagnosed. They just all passed away in their 40s. That's all I knew is that on my mom's side is where the heart problems lie, and all the men died in their 40s. On my father's side, nobody had heart issues, but all the men happened to die in August. So I'm dealing with August in my
Bad
40s
month.
and bad heart.
But at some point, did you ever thought, okay, well, this is what is happening around me. Should I just,
Choose a different lifestyle.
exactly,
yeah.
Nah,
a different
I
diet.
wouldn't
You
change.
just
ate whatever.
went
I
on
want.
it.
I was full stream, just living my life. I was like, when they die, they're gonna come up and say he ate something great before he died. My last meal was gonna
So
be
you weren't
lunch.
too worried about a heart.
Nothing. No, man. I've been to the doctors. I ignored every warning sign with the high blood pressure, the high cholesterol, the high this, the high that. I'm not taking no damn pills.
So you never.
Keep on
Okay,
moving.
so let's go back to that. When did you find out you had high blood pressure?
Man, years ago.
You never took any pills.
Like how long ago? Years ago? Like 20 years ago, or like?
Yeah, at least 20 years ago.
So you were
I'm ignoring my blood pressure.
you were
pills.
under 30 when you found out. You were 27. Let's say, be safe, 27, 30.
I was 25. I already had high cholesterol,
high blood pressure.
high blood pressure.
And when you say high blood pressure, like what was your? Did you ever check it or no?
When I would go to the doctors, it'd
Yeah.
be like 140, 145.
At
So
20
Oh.
So it's
at
a little
25?
high.
That's nothing.
That's not
But in your
that
20s,
bad. I
it's
mean,
not the worst.
you're
It
still
wasn't
young.
that bad. I never checked it. It's been as high as 190.
Oh
before.
my
That's high.
God.
See, that's high right there. Okay, so at 190, you refuse to take any
I just
blood pressure meds or anything. You just-
I was not taking my health
serious.
seriously.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
I had no idea I should have been taking my health seriously.
Do you regret not taking it seriously, or are you just at a point where it's like, I have to move forward from where I am?
Are you on that acceptance thing?
I've accepted a lot. I have no regret for what I ate in the past because it was
I was going to say it was
scrumptious.
delicious.
It was delicious.
No, it was
I have no
scrumptious.
regret. If I had a wish or something, I wish someone had actually told me in a way I could understand in my teens how
Yeah,
to eat.
much better. Yeah.
All right,
But you know what?
we're not gonna. I'm sorry, we're not gonna brush over the fact that Audrey said she ignores her blood pressure. What?
I do. I don't like taking it. The past 2 weeks, actually, last night or 2 days ago was 180 over 103.
Oh my God, girl.
Audrey,
You need
Yeah.
to stop playing.
that is
It makes me very dizzy. I don't like it.
What they give you?
What they gave me.
Maybe
it
it's
makes
too
me
high.
dizzy, and I'm like,
But they have
beet-
different.
I'm
juice.
ignoring
Beet
it.
juice.
Well, yeah, they said beet juice, and what was the other thing?
I'm eating garlic
Cayenne?
instead.
Cayenne pepper.
yeah, but
No,
when
you-
your blood pressure is that high,
Yeah.
beet juice and cayenne pepper is only going to do so much and bring it down
Correct.
a certain amount. You got to lifestyle change that, right? You got to I
Yeah,
don't know
but
what.
yeah, let me
whatever.
be-
Either
Headaches
way,
are horrible, by the way.
But in the interim, you need to bring it down. And maybe the medication they gave you is the wrong one. They have more than one. You don't have to.
Or
just
you have
take-
to get
it could be
tolerant
the milligrams might be because like
Too
I'm
high.
on it.
Okay.
And my heart doctor gave it to me because mine was just a little bit high. She put me on 25. Then my regular doctor put me on 50. 50 is too much for me.
Yeah, it makes me
And-
dizzy.
and I
I'm
went
like,
down.
I'm not taking it.
Yeah, but
and-
maybe you need a lesser dose. Maybe
Yeah, like Hiran has to barely take any, or he'll
I
like
check my
pass
blood
out.
pressure twice a day. Right?
That's
We
what
got
I'm
a whole
doing.
tree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
Haran,
forgot
you've trouble with high blood pressure.
I've dealt with something similar to Keith, but I caught it early. In my my mid 40s, I caught it early, but then I lost my job and I was going through Kaiser Permanente, and they wouldn't give me the blood pressure meds that I need, so my blood
Oh my
pressure
God.
kept going up and up and up for like a year. And then eventually my blood pressure was like on average 170 over 104. My I was losing
The
vision.
headaches
The
are
headaches are
horrible.
really bad. Right? And then finally I got my regular insurance, went to my regular doctor. I found out after my blood pressure was up so long, it gave me kidney damage. So it messed up my
Yeah.
kidney.
No way.
Yeah,
Yes.
it messed up your kidneys. Let
Yes.
me tell you. Okay, so my
I only
kidney.
have one.
Well,
then
you
better-
want to if you
better
want to
check
keep
your-
it, you better
you
go
better
to the
check-
doctor.
Yeah, you can lose your kidney
I
really
was
fast.
worried with
Feisty.
one kidney.
Then you need to get your blood pressure checked
Yes.
because
Oh.
my blood pressure.
Take a different medication.
My kidneys now are
Shoot.
now functioning.
Okay.
When I found out about it, my kidneys were at 40% functioning. Then they dropped down
Whoa.
even more to like almost 30%.
But let me just caveat and say this: if one kidney's at 40, they're both.
No,
at
that's
40.
not true. That's not true. That's not true. I looked that up, and we.
Yeah. Oh, you know how we like to do fake
Well,
science
that's what they told
sometimes
my
here.
dad.
It doesn't work in
Wow.
tandem like that.
Okay.
Maybe they were using it as some kind of
because
metaphor.
I have stage 3 kidney disease because of all that stuff. And then
Wow.
once I made my diet change and I changed my lifestyle and I did a whole bunch of stuff, my EGFR shot up 30 points, which is good. So
He's like at 60 now, which is normal.
yeah,
or a
which
little
is
bit over.
Okay.
But
Wow.
the high blood pressure needs to be managed because what's happening is your blood pressure is so tight, your kidneys are using it to clean and filter your blood, and then if it can't do that, it's working in overtime. And once you get kidney damage, it's not reversible.
Yeah.
You can't fix that.
Okay.
So you need to get that taken care of.
Especially with all the chemo your body had to process
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
You got too many things going on.
I would definitely get your kidneys checked out.
Okay.
See a nephrologist and get that checked out.
They can
But-
do it in a blood test, though.
I
They can
assume
do
your
it,
blood.
yes.
Do you know what
Yeah.
your EGF? Look in your blood test and look for EGFR, global
EGF.
filtration.
Okay, I'll check it because they
And
give it to
check
me
your-
every
and
3
then
weeks.
some of the blood pressure meds actually help your kidneys.
Yeah.
So you want to get that taken care of.
And check your creatine
Wow.
too.
And
Yeah, no.
Keith, how
Your
many
creatine
pills are you
level.
taking?
I'm gonna make an appointment. I promise.
9.
We're gonna check in.
Okay.
So
thank
like
you.
Keith is taking 9 different meds, right?
Wow.
And are you getting your kidneys checked out too on a regular basis to make sure that everything is functioning?
Yeah, all my organs shut down after the surgery. Kidneys, liver, everything. Everything just was dying. And
Wow.
So they artificially kept it living. Is that?
yeah, I had to be I went cardiac arrest twice during the surgery.
Oh Jesus.
And when I came out, everything, all my blood work was haywire. They were searching my charts going, what kind of insulin were you taking? I was like, I wasn't taking any insulin. You're diabetic. I was like, yeah, I'm not believing that either, right? You know, I ain't diabetic.
I don't believe in it. I love
I was
that.
pre-diabetic. But after the surgery, I was like I was maybe between 5'5" and 6'2" most of the time. A1C?
That's not bad.
After the surgery, it was 9.4.
That's bad.
How did it go from?
Because everything,
Because nothing's working now.
nothing's working.
Yeah, the liver's not working. The
It's
pancreas
not.
is
You got
not
Billy
working.
Rubin building up.
Yeah.
Filtering.
Nothing was working, and then it was working at a low percentage, and it was rough.
Yeah, I think it's I never really, I was like you, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't take because my dad, my dad had a lot of problems, man. I mean, he spent like 6 months in a coma. They couldn't figure out what the hell was wrong with him. And he was a drinker, and man, his whole body shut down. And it's funny that you talk about Kaiser. It wasn't until I didn't really start taking my health seriously like maybe 3 years ago. And I got a new doctor at Kaiser. And this was the first cat, and I ain't gonna lie, I appreciate him doing this. And he brought me in, he just wanted to, looking at my charts or whatever, and he's like, all right, but look, come in, we'll talk about it. And he sat me down. And he just started going through all his numbers and everything. And he's like, look, man, I need you to understand what's going on here. You're not bad. But at the rate you're going, it's going to start with your blood sugar. It's going to affect your kidneys. It's going to affect your heart. And then your body's going to shut down. You have got to start taking, he's like, everything that's happening to you is reversible. You're not, like, all your organs, everything, your kidneys, everything is still functioning, because he did a full body workup, full test on me. He's like, but you really need to take your diet seriously. You need to take your nutrition seriously. He prescribed a nutritionist. I've yet to go into that nutritionist because I decided to do my own program. But I can literally say, like, the changes that I've made in my lifestyle. I don't eat as healthy as I should. I just don't. You know what I mean? And I really should take it a lot more serious. And I'm trying to get where you're at, but I don't know if I'm going to get there because I'm a meat eater.
Get where I am.
You know what I mean? I get where you're at. Yeah. So, I'm trying to, and, I know Stephanie's doing a lot of stuff, and I kind of want to find a happy median in enjoying my life, but also eating good enough to survive the rest of my life. Because I'm 52. Man, I would love to be on this earth another 38 to 40 years. If I can make it to 90, 95, I'll be happy. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, it's just really listening to him and just saying, all right, look, I gotta make some changes, man. And you've seen it, we talked about, like, the changes, you had to make in your lifestyle and everything. Mm-hmm. And man, I mean, people really, especially as we get older, man, you gotta take that health seriously, man. Health is wealth, man.